Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. As you can see by the title of today's episode, it is one tip that is going to help you get a job in clinical research during COVID, during coronavirus, and after coronavirus. So I was recently on a call with a client who had emailed in eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com because they wanted some career consulting, and I offer that. So if you're interested, you can email me there. But I was just on the call with this client yesterday. And, they were talking. I asked them a little bit about their background, and then I asked them about, what they're looking to do in clinical research to offer some of my guidance and my help there. And one of the things that they brought up was that they had a friend who was a CRA. He's been a CRA for years, and they worked for IQVIA. So I bring this up to say that one of the forgotten ways to better your chances of getting into clinical research is to lean on your friends and network. So what do I mean by that? So if you're a friend or you know someone who's in your professional network that works for a CRO, any company really, it could be a CRO, a pharma company, a site. If you know someone that works there, you can use them to help you get a job at that place. Clinical research is actually a pretty small area. So not only can you have them help you get a job at that place, but most likely they have friends in their professional network who are willing to help and refer you to jobs at their place of business too. So he knew this guy who was a CRA for a number of years who worked for IQVIA. So obviously you want to ask him to help you apply for jobs at IQVIA. And it is in their best interest to do that because most places offer a bonus if you're actually employed. So it's a few $1,000s too, usually. So it's not like, it's like $10 or like a gift card to Starbucks for $10. No, it's usually a couple $1,000s. Pretty much the higher the position you're going to be employed for, the more money they are willing to offer. So sometimes it could be up to $5,000 for a senior CRA. I've seen, but oftentimes it'll be like $1,500, $2,000, $3,500 in that range that I've seen. So it's in your friend's interest to refer you because they're going to get paid for it. And it's in your interest too to have them do it because your chances are higher. So the process to do this is you want to ask your friend first because sometimes they have to submit your resume internally, or sometimes you go onto the online career center where they have all the jobs posted for that company. You apply and you mention that you're friends with or you're professional colleagues with the person. So there's a few different ways that companies will do it. And you just have to follow with whatever it is for that company. So that's one of the best ways you can get a job at a company. But it's not over just applying. There's a secondary step that you will want your friend to do. And that is to find out who is the hiring manager or the recruiter that is working on the job that you applied for, because a lot of times your resume and application can get lost internally, or just they have so many applications they have to turn down people because they can't look at all those applications. So what you'll want for the second step of the process is to have your friend email them internally, of course, and follow up if they got that application, if they got that referral. And this does a couple things. This alerts them that, they were referred, because this can be overlooked sometimes. It certifies that if that person is interviewed and offered the position, that your friend will receive the the bonus. It's a referral bonus, they call it. But also it puts you top of mind for that recruiter or for that hiring manager. So you definitely want to do that step. A lot of people don't do that step, and sometimes they get often overlooked. So really good friends, really good people that actually want to see you hired will do that step automatically. But you want to make sure that you ask your friend or a person who's referring you to do that step, because it's really, really helpful and really puts your application on a pedestal if they're able to do that. That's something I've learned the long way, actually, because it's just very, very important to do that step. So yeah, that's just one little quick tip I wanted to let you guys know about, because networking is always, always king in clinical research. I talk about networking internally. I've talked about that before. I haven't talked about it in a while, but I talk about that before. When you're in the office, networking internally, and also networking outside of work with these people too, whether it's going to conferences, going to ACRP meetings, going to SOCRA meetings, whether it's, attending like Zoom meetups for clinical research, things of that nature. And, networking is really important. The industry is really, really small. So once people start working in it for 5-10 years, people oftentimes don't stay at the same places. So you end up knowing people at all different types of CROs and sponsors. So it really, really helps. So even if you just have one friend, they know people at other CROs likely, other CROs and companies in the clinical research space likely. So they can help you. And then those friends have more friends, and then they can help you too. So don't be upset if you just know one person in clinical research, because likely they can help you. And if they're not willing to help, ask if they know someone who is. Ask if they know someone who can better help. And then you've got that person. So when I've done this, when I was first starting to get into clinical research, I've noticed people were often very, very helpful. I would email people on LinkedIn sometimes, and they'd be willing to talk and help. Like I said, it is in people's best interest to refer you. So even if you wanted to cold email people on LinkedIn and say, hey, look, I applied for this job. I wanted to know if you'd help refer me. You could write an email like that, and oftentimes they will help too, because it's in their best interest. Now, if someone were to message me like that, I'd want to get to know them a little bit first. I'm not going to just refer someone just because they asked. I want to be able to speak to how I know you. I want to be able to speak to your abilities, your successes, and because sometimes they will ask for feedback on you too, if you're referred. So that's just my tip, guys. As always, if you're interested in any type of resume review, any type of career consultation,